Okay, last review for the night. We got episode 1 of Barry season 3. I'm sure I've talked about this in other videos. Excuse me, how excited I was for it. It didn't disappoint. I'm just really glad it's back. I think I'm still kind of in a fog. I don't think it would have taken a lot of stupid things for them to really deter me. I think if I think of it in the grand scheme of things, episode 1 was pretty normal. I think it took care of what was left off to be a very interesting plot line. I think they didn't have to do much to keep it there and keep the stakes high, and they did a really good job of that and getting us reacclimated to it, where it's like you see that Sally and Barry are still dating. Sally has blown up since the end of season 2, which, to reiterate for anybody who needs this, season 2 ends off with Barry quits on Fuchs. Fuchs does whatever he can to make him regret it. They have their whole feud. Fuchs shows Mr. Kusno the body of his detective girlfriend, who Barry had killed and put in the trunk of a car in the woods, and then whispers in his ear, Barry did this. Barry then finds, way after the fact, finds the body, and to tie up Kusno, he obviously at one point something clicks that he's like, oh my god, this guy wasn't a detective, he was somebody who was probably connected to Barry. Barry's a bad person. That's how they leave his story at the end, is you figure out that a light bulb's going off and he's figured out Barry's not who he says he is. You leave off with Barry, well, we'll go to Sally first. We leave off with Sally. She has like this part that she's playing, I think, in a player movie. I don't know what it is, but she feels bad about what she did. I think she goes off on something. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a huge fan of Sally as a person. Great actress. Sarah Goldberg does a great job playing her, but she's such an annoying character. Probably one of my most annoyed. I hate her. I think she's such a selfish person. I know it's rooted in something great. It's great writing, but it's like they do such a great job at making her annoying. And that got even worse in this one. It ends off with her she walks out all disappointed in what she's doing, and I think Barry walks out on her or something. I don't know what happens, but she blows up. You see she starts getting all this critical attention when she walks out of the performance, and you kind of go, oh, she's gonna blow up. And then with Barry, he goes to the car after Gene's seen it and everything, and he hears the cop cars and everything else, and he throws in the little pin that NoHo Hank gave him as your debt is paid kind of thing. So it's like when him and NoHo Hank got over their little tiff that Barry was quitting and he trained everything, he gave him his little pin that says in Russian, I believe, your debt has been paid. Barry throws it in the trunk, naturally framing Hank to just kind of cover his own butt. And then he goes and assassinates all of Hank's men and all of the guy who Hank is working with, NoHo Hank is working with, all their men, in an attempt to go after Fuchs, and it's insane, and then Fuchs just barely gets away, and that's the end of season 2. We go into this one, seeing that Barry has resorted back to his old ways and has gone cold. He's now being hired off Craigslist as a hitman and doing cheap hits on people, and he's still dating Sally. Sally's a big actress / director now on her own TV show, I think. They haven't specified it's her TV show, but she's a big character in it, and she's the director and very important. It makes her so annoying, and their whole I don't know, self-indulgent. She's very self-indulgent. But so yeah, Sally's got that thing going on. Her and Barry's still together. He's a mess. Kusno knows about Barry, and you find out he has a gun, and he tells Barry meet me at the school, which is now closing. Kusno's school is now closing, acting school. And he's like, meet me there, I want you to help me pack up things. And you kind of get it, you're he's going to try to kill him. Sits Barry down, has a gun pointed at him. Oh, also, I should preface this by saying that Barry at one point in the episode goes to see NoHo Hank. NoHo Hank is now in a homosexual relationship with the man who he was I'm forgetting his name now, but the guy who he's partnered with, the other kind of cartel guy. They're together now, which I think is funny and just going to be great. I love NoHo Hank. And Barry goes to him asking for work, just a mess, and NoHo Hank basically, because he was his best friend, he tells him, he's like, you did me so dirty, F off. And he's like, you better not come back here, whatever. Really, he's protecting Barry because the other guy, his boyfriend now, is probably going to be the one to go after him, whereas Hank still loves Barry, and he's just hurt. Because earlier in the episode, NoHo Hank is getting interrogated for the first time, which in very NoHo Hank brand, he's very excited about. And in that, they show him the pin that was on the body, and he finds out that Barry framed him, and that's how he finds out Barry kind of stabbed him in the back. So he's upset at him, sends Barry off. Now, to the end of the episode, Barry's sitting with Kusno, and Kusno threatens him. He's like, you have two options. Either you can go to the station and I know everything. and you can go to the station and confess, or I'll kill you right now. And you hear that he has a gun under the table. And then you see all the pieces of the gun, like the chamber, fall out on the floor and roll to Barry's feet, obviously signifying Kusno didn't know how to work the gun and it fell apart in his hand. And then there's a cut of him saying, I'm sorry, and then moving in, and then you see him holding a gun to Kusno's head, and like in the middle of like the desert it looks like, and has this whole big moment where he realizes, oh, I don't need to kill him, I know what to do, and he tells Kusno to get back in the trunk, and that's the end. A lot is set up, and a lot is still left over from season 2, and I'm so excited. That's all I'm going to say about this one. It's super, super exciting. Can't wait for the next episode to release, next episode to drop, and I'm very glad that it's back. It's going to be tough for Emmy voters, I think, for comedy this year, because so many strong hitters are back. You got Marvelous Mrs. Maisel back, you got Atlanta's out, you got Barry out. That trifecta right there is just hard, and then I think the flight attendant out. There's a lot going on. You don't know what's going to be what, but I think between just Atlanta, Barry, and Marvelous Mrs. Maisel alone, that's 3 former winners. So tough, and I'm excited about it. In my award specifically, it's going to be hard just between Barry and Atlanta. And it's rumored Dave might come out before my awards come out. So, dude, oh, it's almost stressful, but in the best way. But yeah, Barry season 3 available now on HBO Max. Please, 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 please watch it. It's honestly the show that put Max original comedies on the map. And I'm not talking about all HBO comedies, but HBO Max, since it's been a streaming service, it's kind of the trailblazer for that. So go watch it. I promise you, you won't regret it. This will get a please, please, please. Please, please, please go watch it. Barry season 3 available now on HBO Max. Season 3 is starting to go. It'll be going out weekly. And there's 2 seasons to catch up on if you haven't started. Go watch it now. Please. Peace.